بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. We continue our study of the 11th section, which is about knowledge and the knowledgeable and what is known. Chapter 7, which is about classification of ilm husuli into tasawwur and tasdiq. We said knowledge is either huduri or husuli, knowledge by presence, or knowledge which I call it conceptual knowledge, husul. Some people say acquired knowledge, but I think conceptual knowledge is better, which is through image. So this is, as we said, either tasawwur or tasdiq. We already had the first few lines, and we said we mean by tasawwur having one or more than one concepts, but without any judgment. For example, you say Zayd or Qiyamu Zayd, Kitabu Zayd, Qiyamu Zayd al-Yawm. Still, although it's three words, but no tasdiq. But if you say Zaydun qa'imun, Zayd is standing, then you have a judgment. You are saying something is there or something is not there. You are affirming a predicate for a subject, or you are denying, because tasdiq can be affirmative and can be negational. But whether it is affirmative or negational, it has a judgment. Whether you say someone is standing or someone is not standing, both cases you are making a judgment. You are passing a judgment. Whether you say this is white or this is not white, you are passing a judgment. Okay? So this is what we already have discussed. Let me, just for a reminder, quickly start from the beginning of the chapter. الفصل السابع ينقسم العلم الحصولي إلى تصور وتصديق. Chapter 7, conceptual knowledge is divided into tasawwur wa tasdiq. Why there is no possibility of a third? Because we say either these concepts come with judgment or without judgment. There are two options. لأنه means لأن العلم الحصولي إما صورة حاصلة من معلوم واحد أو كثير من غير إيجاب أو سلب، وإما صورة حاصلة من معلوم معها إيجاب شيء لشيء أو سلب شيء عن شيء. That's it. There is no other possibility. Because ilm husuli, it's either the image which is formed from one ma'lum, something that you perceive, or more than one, but without ijab or salb, without affirming or without denying. This is called tasawwur. This conception is tasawwur. Like concept of human being or jism, physical object, physical body, or jawhar, substance. Okay, jawhar. What is jawhar? What is not jawhar? We are not saying anything. We just say jawhar. This is one type. Or image which is formed from something which is known to us, along with affirming something for something. مَعَهَا إِيجَابُ شَيْءٍ لِشَيْءٍ. You are affirming something for something, or salbu shay'an an shay', or you are rejecting something from something. For example, we say al-insanu dhahikun. Human being can laugh. Although dhahik means is laughing, but it means can laugh. It means there is ability, there is this potential in human beings to laugh. Because as we said before, you don't laugh unless you are surprised. And animals are not surprised normally. Yes? Because they don't have such thing that they anticipate future and if something else happens. Yeah? So if you say jokes to animals, they just watch you. They don't laugh because they're not surprised. This is tasdiq. Or ليس الإنسان بحجر. Human being is not a stone. They are not affirmed. They are rejected. They are negated to be a stone. This is called tasdiq. وباعتبار حكمي, and because there is a hukm, there is a verdict, there is a judgment, we call it also qadiyya, proposition. Yeah, qadiyya. If you remember from mantiq, we said qadiyya is قول مركب تام خبري. It has to be قول, it has to be murakkab, it has to be tam, means yasakh al-sukut, and it has to be khabari. Because if it is insha'i, we don't call it qaziyah. This is from logic. ثم إن القضية بما تشتمل على إثبات شيء لشيء أو نفي شيء عن شيء مركبة من أجزاء فوق الواحد. قضية, because it involves affirming something for something or denying something about something, it has to always have ajza. It has to have parts. Murakkabatun min ajza means it is a compound of parts, not only one. Can you have qaziyah with one? No. Maybe you say, for example, we have some sentences that only have one word. But even if a sentence is one word, maybe there is, for example, a subject which is zamir, for example, mustatir. Yeah, for example, we say qum. Qum fa'anzir. Qum means a stand up. Although this is not qaziyah because it is insha, but even this qum is not one word. Or even you say ghe, which is one letter. Qum is two letters. Ghe means save, but means ghe anta. Again, this is insha, but I'm saying that anything that you suppose which looks like one word, in reality, it's more than one word. Because the minimum for qaziyah is mawzu and mahmul, subject and predicate. But sometimes there are more than two. Plus, there is a nisbatul hamliya, nisbah. Because when you say Zaydun qa'imun, you consider Zayd, you consider qa'im, you consider the relation between Zayd and qa'im, and then you are in a position to make up your mind and say Zaydun qa'imun or Zaydun laysa biqa'im. Or you say, I don't know. But you have to think of Zayd, you have to think of qiyam, and then you have to think of the relation between qiyam and Zayd. After that, you can say Zaydun qa'imun or Zaydun laysa biqa'im, or you say, I don't know. I cannot make any judgment. So, إن الغذية بما تشتمل على إثبات شيء لشيء أو نفي شيء عن شيء مركبة من أجزاء فوق الواحد. Preposition, because it involves affirming something for something or denying something about something, it is compound. It's formed from parts which are more than one. Al-mashhur, what is a very common and established idea among logicians and philosophers is أن القضية الموجبة مؤلفة من الموضوع والمحمول والنسبة الحكمية والحكم. It's not that agreed by everyone, but this is a very common idea that they say in قضية موجبة, which means قضية حملية موجبة, like الإنسان ضاحك. What do you have? الإنسان قائم. Relation between الإنسان and قائم. And then الحكم, that you say الإنسان قائم. Sometimes you say الإنسان ليس بقائم. Sometimes you don't say anything. But whether it is موجبة or salibة, or you cannot make any judgment, at least the first three parts are there. الإنسان قائم, relation between الإنسان and قائم, which called النسبة الحكمية or النسبة في الجملة الحملية. المشهور أن القضية الموجبة, موجبة means affirmative, yeah? موجبة is positive, yeah? Affirmative. مؤلفة is formed, comprises, it means, ta'alif means to compile, to bring together. Means includes, involves. Mawzu, subject. Mahmul, predicate. والنسبة الحكمية, the relation which is there between two. وهي نسبة المحمول إلى الموضوع, the relation of predicate and subject. والحكم, the fourth is hukm, judgment. Yeah, we will talk about it. Some people thought in salibah there is no hukm. But in reality, we can say even in salibah there is hukm, but the type of hukm is different. Because even in salibah, if there was no hukm, you are not passing any judgment. The reality is that even in salibah, we are making a judgment. When I say Zaydun laysa biqa'im, I am making a judgment. If I don't make any judgment, means I remain in doubt, or I keep you in doubt. Yeah, maybe I know but I don't say it, or maybe even I don't know. But in any case, when I say Zaydun laysa biqa'im, and they say Zaydun biqa'im, in both cases I am making judgment. والحكم باتحاد الموضوع مع المحمول, and then the judgment that موضوع and محمول are united. You remember we said in الحمل الأولي اتحاد is in مفهوم, in حمل الشايع صناعي اتحاد is in what? In reality, in وجود. أحسن. هذا في الحليات المركبة التي محمولاتها غير وجود الموضوع. These four are in قضية حملية موجبة, which is مركبة. You remember another classification was قضايا are either حلية مركبة, which is ثبوت شيئا لشيئا, or حلية بسيطة, which is ثبوت شيئا. If I say الإنسان موجود, this is called حلية بسيطة, because I'm talking about وجود of إنسان. But if I say الإنسان ضاحك, this is ثبوت شيئا لشيئا, ثبوت الضحك للإنسان. It's called حلية مركبة. So these four are very obvious in what? حملية موجبة, which is حلية مركبة, means subject and predicate is something other than subject. It's not just the existence of the subject. أما الحليات البسيطة, but in simple حلية. You remember why they call it حلية? Because we said there are three major questions. أس المطالب ثلاث مطلب حل مطلب لم مطلب ما. Matlab hal means the question about hal, and the answer is yes or no. Any question with hal, the answer is yes or no. Hal zaydun mawjudun? Yes or no. Hal zaydun qa'imun? Yes or no. If you say hal zaydun mawjudun, this is basit, because the question is about existence. If you say hal zaydun qa'imun, it's murakkab, means more than existence. أما الحليات البسيطة التي محمولها وجود الموضوع. حليات البسيطة, Allama gives the definition here, are those propositions that predicate is the existence of subject, is not something other than existence of the subject. Like al-insanu mawjudun. Here there are three parts: al-mawzu, wal-mahmul, wal-hukm. This is mashhur, of course. We may not accept this. But mashhur is that in haliyya basita we don't have 4 parts. We have 3 parts. Why? Because mahmul is wujudul mawzu, existence of the subject. And between subject and its existence, we don't have nisbah. Yeah? They say nisbah is in haliyya murakkabe when it is subutu shay'an wa shay'an. But if it is subutu shay'an, there is no nisbah. So, this is the way they say. Of course, someone may say, yes, that is about reality of existence. Between something and its existence, there is no nisbah. But we are talking about concepts. Between concept of wujud and concept of mahiyya, there can be nisbah. So we may question this. أما الحليات البسيطة التي محمولها وجود الموضوع كقولنا الإنسان موجود فأجزاؤها ثلاثة. Its parts are 3, not 4, according to مشهور. الموضوع والمحمول والحكم. Which one is missing? نسبة حكمية. Why? إذ لا معنى لتخلل النسبة وهي الوجود الرابط بين الشيء ونفسه. They say nisbah is wujud rabit. Wujud rabit, you remember we said wujud mustaqil, wujud rabit. Wujud rabit means subut shay'an shay'an. It's like a link. Between something and its existence, there is no link because they are the same. Okay. So, how many things we said so far? 2, according to Mashhur. One is that in haliyya, murakkabe, in hamliyya, mujabe, there are 4 parts. In haliyya basita, in hamliyya mujabe, there are 3 parts. Another thing, again mashhur. وأن القضية الصالبة مؤلفة من الموضوع والمحمول والنسبة الحكمية الإيجابية ولا حكم فيها. The third thing, which is maybe very problematic, if someone doesn't easily, understand the problem with the previous ones, the previous one. Here, I think it's very easy to say that no, this is not correct. There is hukm. But anyway, they say this. They say, qaziyya salibah, in negational proposition, they say it is compound, it comprises mawzu, subject, mahmul, predicate, wan nisbatul hukmiyya al-ijabiyya. When you say Zaydun laysa biqa'im, you consider Zayd, you consider Qiyam, you consider relation between Qiyam and Zayd, and then say no. You take it away. النسبة الحكمية الإيجابية means relation between قيام and Zayd. You think, can I say زيد قائم? Then you say, no, زيد ليس بقائم. لا حكم فيها. They say there is no حكم. لا أن فيها حكما عدميا. They say, you should not think that there is a حكم which is عدمي. There is no negational judgment. There is no judgment. Why? Because they think judgment means to say subject has the predicate. They limit judgment to positives, to affirmative type. لأن الحكم جعل شيء شيئا. Because حكم means to say something is something. وسلب الحكم عدم جعله لا جعل عدمه. They think in Salebe we don't have hukm, not that we have hukm for Adam. But this is not right. Because as we said, even in Salebe we have hukm. If a judge says someone is guilty, this is hukm. If judge says someone is not guilty, again it is hukm. You cannot say, no, this is not hukm. It is just عدم حكم بالمجرمية. It's just not judging that he is guilty. No, we say no. We say, whether you say he is guilty or you say he is not guilty, in both cases you are making judgment. The only time you don't make judgment is when you keep it like a question. You don't pass any judgment. So they don't, مجرمون, I don't know. But then this is not qaziyah, because qaziyah has to be something which is giving some information that you can then keep silent. يصح السكوت. So, according to Mashhur, they say there is no negational judgment. It's negation of judgment, not negational judgment. But we don't accept it. وَالْحَقُّ. This was al-mashhur. But in philosophy, are you satisfied with what is common? Just because something is mashhur? No. In philosophy, we go only after the truth. We cannot say this is said by many people. No, we have to look into arguments. Al-haqqu, what is haqq, is أن الحاجة إلى تصور النسبة الحكمية أنما هي من جهة الحكم بما هو فعل النفس لا بما هو جزء القضية. The truth is, the right position, correct position is that the need for conceiving the relation between mawzu and mahmul is because of hukm, which is an action of the soul. Because you want to make a hukm, make a judgment, you need tasawwur. Okay? But tasawwur al-nisbah is not part of qaziyah. لا بما هو جزء القضية. In other words, what is part of qaziyah is mawzu. What is part of qaziyah also is mahmul. But in order to make hukm, you need to do something. A condition for judgment is to think about the relation between predicate and subject. So this is not juz. إن القضية النواهي الموضوع والمحمول والحكم. قضية is not 4 parts. قضية is 3. Subject, predicate, حكم, judgment. ولا حاجة في تحقق القضية بما هي قضية إلى تصور النسبة الحكمية. Qaziyah as such does not need conceiving the nisbah. For hukm we need this. Qaziyah is subject predicate. This is not, of course, a big deal. إنما الحاجة إلى تصورها لتحقق الحكم من النفس. Why we need this نسبة حكمية? Because it's a condition for our nafs to be able to pass a judgment. Nafs cannot judge unless nafs is considering the relation between the two. لتحقق الحكم من النفس وجعلها الموضوع هو المحمول. Nafs says this subject is this predicate. زيد قائم. In order to say زيد قائم, nafs needs to think of relation between Zayd and قائم. ويدل على ذلك تحقق القضية في الحاليات البسيطة. One reason for this is that in حاليات بسيطة قضية happens بدون النسبة الحكمية, without نسبة حكمية, which can connect محمول to subject. This is Allama's opinion. Of course, we raised also other concerns. We said actually, maybe we can say in حلية بسيطة there is not that much difference with حلية مركبة, and also about صالبة maybe we say there is حكم. Yeah, but Allama himself is talking about these issues in others later. فقد تبين بهذا البيان, at least some of them. أولا أن القضية الموجبة ذات أجزاء ثلاثة. From what we have said, few things have become clear. First, affirmative proposition has three parts: الموضوع والمحمول والحكم. والصالبة ذات جزئين. صالبة has two parts: الموضوع والمحمول. Here Allama seems he's happy with mashhur, but we said this is problematic, and I think Allama in other places is aware of this and accepts this problem, but here he's happy with mashhur. No, he doesn't say hadiyah basita. Mujibah. Any mujibah is three, even if it is murakkabah. والصالبة ذات جزئين الموضوع والمحمول. أن النسبة الحكمية تحتاج إليها النفس في فعلها الحكمة. نسبة حكمية, the relation between موضوع and محمول, is what nafs needs, is a condition for nafs to do what? To do hukm, to pass judgment. Not al-qaziyya bima hiya qaziyya fi inqada. Not that qaziyya as such in its formation needs nisbat hukmiyya. It's not a big deal. Whether you say it's condition for nafs or anyway, you cannot have tasdiq without thinking of mawzu and mahmul and relation between them. That's not a big thing in my humble opinion. Number two, أن الحكم فعل من النفس في ظرف الإدراك الذهني. This is a very important point. Hukm is an action of human soul. When you say A is B, your nafs is passing a judgment. Your nafs is active. It's different. When I see you, I am not active. I am munfa'id. I am passive. Because whether I like it or not, whether I do anything or not, when I see something, it happens in my knowledge. I am munfa'id. But judgment is fi'l of nafs. أن الحكم فعل من النفس. Hukm is an action of nafs. But what type of fail? What type of fail is this? في ظرف الإدراك الذهني, in the context of mental perception. It's فعل علمي. It's not فعل خارجي. You know? You understand? This is a type of action that is in knowledge. وليس من الانفعال التصوري في شيء. And it's not at all انفعال. انفعال means you are passive. You are influenced. When, as I said, I see, I hear, I am munfa'il. They act on me. But judgment of nafs is action of nafs. حقيقة الحكم في قولنا زيد قائم مثلا. The reality of hukm, for example, when we say زيدون قائمون, what is the reality of hukm? أن النفس تنال من طريق الحس موجودا واحدا. Our soul, through perception, receives image of a person who is standing. Then our nafs tujarraduhu. What is outside, as you know, is not mawzu' mahmud. Outside we see someone is standing. Our nafs analyzes and makes it Zayd and Qa'im. وَتَخْزُنُهُمَا عِنْدَهَا. Then restores or stores these two. تَخْزُن means to save, to store. Then إذا أرادت حكاية ما وجدته في الخارج, when our nafs wants to relay, حكاية means to relay, wants to relay what has found in the real world, in the external world, takes أخذت صورة زيد والقائم من خزانتها, from archive, from storage, brings out the image of Zayd and the image of Qa'im, and they are two. ثم جعلتهما واحدا ذا وجودا, then brings them together, combines them and makes them one. This is hukm. Hukm is nothing other than this. هذا هو الحكم الذي ذكرنا إنه فعل للنفس. This is hukm, which is an action of nafs, which is relaying what is the situation in the external world. فالحكم فعل للنفس. So hukm is an action of the soul. وهو مع ذلك من الصور الذهنية الحاكية لما وراءها. At the same time that this is action, this is a scientific action. It's ilmi, because this hukm is من الصور الذهنية, is one of the mental images that can tell us something about something beyond that. It can relay something beyond. لو كان الحكم تصورا مأخوذا من الخارج. Very important point. This sentence is very important. If hukm was not action of nafs, and it was just a conception that we take it from outside, then كانت القضية غير مفيدة لصحة السكوت. Then قضية was not benefiting so much that we could keep silent. Because whenever it's just tasawwur, doesn't say whether it is the case or it's not the case. Tasawwur is free from judgment. In order to be able to pass a piece of information that you can after that be silent, useful information that you can keep silent after that, there must be a judgment. If you just understand Zayd and understand Qiyam and think about Zayd and Qiyam, it's not enough. Say, En qama Zaydun, for example. Okay, En qama Zaydun what? If Zayd is standing, what? لو كان الحكم تصورا مأخوذا من الخارج. If hukm was a conception which was taken from outside, كانت القضية غير مفيدة لصحة السكوت. The proposition was not benefiting validity of silence, correctness of silence. Like what? Like in قضیه شرطیه مقدم and تالی. When you say no, إن جاءك زيدون, for example, فأكرمه, or إن جاءك زيدون فأمر أيضا يأتي. If Zayd comes, Amr also comes. Shart or muqaddam is not by itself something that you can keep silent. Of course, here, if you are very careful, you may tell me, but tali by itself is good. Because tali, if it is not part of qaziyah shartiyah, by itself is always something that you can keep silent. But here means tali as part of jumla shartiyah. If you know it is part of jumla shartiyah, so by itself is not enough to be silent. You know, if I say, if P, then Q is not by itself sufficient. And if P is not sufficient. But if I say Q, it's sufficient. Akramho is sufficient. But it is, inshallah. No problem. It doesn't need to be always amr. It can be khabar. Like for example, إذا جاءت الشمس فالنهار موجود. النهار موجود by itself is complete. But if it's فالنهار موجود, you know that it's part of jumla shatiyah, then it's not complete. وَلَوْ كَانَ تَصَوُّرًا. If hukm was تصوُّرًا أَنْشَأَتْهُ النَّفْسِ مِنْ عِنْدَهَا مِنْ غَيْرِ اسْتِعَانَةٍ مِنَ الْخَارِجِ. A conception that soul creates from itself or herself without benefiting from outside world. This was bad. If it, we were so active that we make judgment without considering outside. We said it is fi'lun nafs, but fi'lun nafs based on information from outside, not fi'lun nafs by imagination. In alam khiyal, you are very active. You do what you like. Yeah, in alam khiyal, you can say Zayd has 5 heads. Alam khiyal. But here it's not alam khiyal, it's not imagination. You can say Zayd is standing or not standing based on information that you have from outside. وثالثا أن التصديق يتوقف على تصور الموضوع والمحمول. The third point is that tasdiq depends. يتوقف means depends. Depends on conceiving subject and predicate. فَلَا تَصْدِيقَ إِلَّا عَنْ تَصَوُّرٍ. So there can be no tasdiq, affirmation, without conception. So, alhamdulillah, these are very clear. Of course, we have some reservations, but this is as much we need to know for Bidayat al-Hikmah. And Allah is just going into this much of details. So, tasawwur has no judgment. Tasdiq, according to mashhur, when it is mujabah, has judgment. When it is salibah, has no judgment. Although we believe in both cases there is judgment. And nisbat hukmiyah, they say it is in hadiyah murakkabah, not in hadiyah mujabah, hadiyah basitah, the simple one. Although here again we have reservation. And what is very important is that hukm is action of the nafs. You are not munfa'il. you are fa'al. Here I have a point that maybe it's not needed for Bidayat al-Hikmah, but just to keep it in your mind. What type of fi'l is this for nafs? Can you say, I don't want to make this judgment? If you see Zayd is standing, and you take the image of Zayd who is standing and analyze it and say Zaydun qa'imun, and then you want to pass judgment. Can you hold judgment? It seems to me no. So although this is fail of nafs, but in a sense, again, you are not very active, you are passive. Munfa'il. Because if it is a matter of saying or not saying, yes, it's up to me. I can decide to say it and I can decide not to say it. I can form the qaziyah or I can keep silent. But in my nafs, can I hold judgment if I know that Zayd is qa'im? I cannot hold judgment. So it seems that ilm is always making alim munfa'il. Unless you create, for example, I write a book and I know about it. Here I am active. But if ma'lum is outside me, I am munfa'il. Whether I like it or not, I have to pass judgment. And here then the question of, like iman comes. What is iman? Is iman to affirm, like for example, someone knows Allah is mawjood, but he doesn't say Allah is mawjood. Is it possible or not? I think it's not possible. If he knows Allah is mawjood, he cannot say, I don't believe in Allah is mawjood. Either he has to avoid coming to this understanding. He doesn't think about it, doesn't read, he doesn't ask. That's possible. But if for you this has become clear, you cannot stop believing in that. But you can stop admitting that. This is why I believe Iman is a matter of admitting what you know. Not a matter of just knowing. Because you may know and you don't admit. جَحَدُوا بِهَا وَاسْتَيْقَنَتْهَا أَنفُسُهُمْ ظُلْمًا وَعُلُوًّا. So, whether people are good or bad, like it or don't like it, when something is known to them, they cannot stop judging. They cannot say, I don't want to say A is B because I don't like this. It brings, some limitation for me.
Maybe they haven't made up their mind. They don't know it.
So either they have to avoid formation of knowledge. They put cotton in their ear, for example. They close their eye. They don't look into evidence. They read. They don't read so that they don't believe. They don't come to know. That's possible. Avoiding muqaddamat. But when everything is there and you know, then you must pass judgment. It's not up into your hand. Like for example, as I said, جَحَدُوا بِهَا وَاسْتَيْقَنَتْهَا أَنفُسُهُمْ ظُلْمًا وَعُلُوًّا. Could they say in their mind that we don't want to judge that Rasulullah is, for example, Prophet of God? They could not stop judging. They could stop saying it. They could stop forming a qaziyah for others, but for themselves, they could not do anything. Yes, they could stop admitting, i'tiraf, acknowledging. Because sometimes I know something, but I don't acknowledge. In the sense that I don't show humility and openness and submission to the truth. Okay? So when we say hukm is fi'lun nafs, my understanding is yes, it is fi'lun nafs, but it is not voluntary. It's not that you are 100% active and you decide. No. If evidence is complete or if arguments are complete, your nafs has to make this judgment. Yeah, that's another issue. Still is not aware. That's possible. Like if I have not seen you standing up, the same is there. If I don't see you, then I can, remain in doubt. But I'm saying if someone knows, cannot say, I don't want to pass judgment. It's not up to you to decide you want to pass judgment or not. The maximum is you say, I don't want to say it, or I don't want to admit, in the sense that I don't want to act upon my knowledge. It's possible. But human beings have this characteristic that if they don't admit and acknowledge something, little by little they may really doubt it. This is irtiyab, rape. If something I see and I don't declare and don't admit and keep denying, little by little I may actually lose my knowledge. Sufis, or even in moral cases, ثم كان عاقبة الذين أساءوا السوء أن كذبوا بآيات الله. The end of people who did bad is that they denied the signs of God. So someone really may become denier, denier of the truth. Okay, inshallah, in the next session, we talk about another classification of ilm husuli, which is into badihi and nazari, self-evident and speculative. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.